Let's talk about coaching and some of the myths about it. I know I had some when I first started taking a look at this whole idea about employee coaching. The first one is that a coach must have experience or expertise in their area. Why is that a myth, you think? In other words, do you really have to know how to do their job to help them?
No.
Why is that?
They need to know how to do their job.
What's that?
Because they need to know how to do their job.
They need to know how to do their job. Think about athletics, right? Sports. Have you ever seen a great coach that never played the game? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of examples like that. Now, I'm not saying it hurts if you know how to do their job. That's not a problem. But here's what managers tell me all the time. Well, I really don't know. I'm new. I got stuck in a department that I don't have expertise in, or that wasn't my background. Doesn't matter. You can go into any field, any world, and coach people with the model that I'm going to show you today. Okay? And so it's funny because I have the opportunity now. I coach people, I coach executives in companies that I don't know nothing about what they do, which honestly helps me as a coach. Because again, I have to gain clarity by asking lots of questions, and then through that process, I help them as well gain clarity on what they do. It's kind of that old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees or the trees for the forest or whatever it is, right? It's you're so into it that you can't see it. So don't let that hold you back to think about, hey, I have to be the expert in this in order to help people. You don't. Number two, employees don't want to be coached. Would you guys agree with that? Yes or no?
No.
You don't think employees want to be coached? Or you do
They
think?
do. I think they do.
You think they do? Okay. A lot of people, that's their big. Well, they just want to do their job, right? I don't want to interfere or whatever. People want to be better, right? Most people, I'm not saying everybody, but most people want to grow and develop. Again, it goes back to those 6 basic human needs. We all have a need for growth, and we all want to get better. And so we got to be careful with that. Number 3, people should just focus on their strengths. Now, this is going to be contradictory to what most of you think. Because most people think that when as a manager, you should help people in their strength zone, right? Get better. Let me explain to you why I don't agree with that, okay? And what my experience has been in this area. If whatever skill it is, let's say this is 100% effectiveness, and this is 0. On this scale, where does the strength lie? Is it somewhere up in here? Right? Where does the weakness lie on this scale? Somewhere down in here? So let me ask you, which one has the biggest room for growth and improvement? The weaknesses, right? I can help people in their strengths, maybe help them get a little bit better. But if I help focus on the things that they're weak on, I have a lot more opportunity for growth. I can close that potential gap much faster when I help people in the things that they struggled in, but the things that they could learn and grow in. Okay, does that make sense? So that's why you'll see later, I really focus on where are people struggling and how can we get them to the next level? Because their strength is their strength. I mean, there's probably not a whole lot you could do about it, right? You think about, again, going back to pro athletes, you got a quarterback, right, that his strength is his arm strength. Like, how much stronger can you get him? Like it is what it is. But where could, maybe his weakness is reading defenses. And you could really teach him how to read defenses, which makes him a lot more powerful. You could spend all day working on his arm strength. Maybe you get a little bit stronger. He can throw it another yard. But if you can teach him how to read defenses, all of a sudden he's a lot more effective. You guys tracking with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So that's why I think that is a myth. We should really focus on their weaknesses and help them out. Number 4, I don't have time to coach people. I don't have time. Are you guys busy? Yes or no?
Yes.
So I'm gonna introduce it today, and I'm gonna encourage you to adopt this style of management, which is coaching. And when I do that with most people, they go, oh golly, another thing to, like, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to babysit people. I'm busy. I'm going to show you today that it doesn't take a lot of time to do this if you do it right, okay? Most people see coaching as this long, drawn out, process of sitting down with people. That's not what it's about, okay? And we'll show you that. Number 5, I should only work with my best or top producers. I think I might have introduced you guys to this concept when we were here last time, but I want to go back into it. So, you guys remember this?
Yes.
All right. So we got the 10%, the 70%, and the 20%. This is where I figured it out. Like, this was my special sauce, if you will, when it came to building teams and helping people perform at a whole higher level. Because we talked about last time, most managers, most of their time, either right there, trying to help the helpless, or working with their rock stars, because it makes them feel good. And that's where most of their time is spent. And what I figured out was, this is where the gold lies in the gold mine, so to speak. I wanted to find out which of these 70% wanted to be the 20%er, and then those were the people that I coached. Right? I explained that to you guys last time, right? And so, I don't know, we didn't go over this.
We did it like the...
Okay, so we did talk about it?
Yeah.
All right. So again, today as I'm talking about this, it's you have to really analyze, where are you at right now? Where do you focus most of your time? Again, some time can be spent here identifying these 10%ers. These might be new people that are just not quite there yet, but they want to be here. The only thing I looked for in all of this was desire. I wanted to know who wants to perform. Who wants to perform? And what happens is, over a period of time, you'll move some of these people up here, so this gets bigger. The amount of your 20% gets bigger. You're going to lose most of these, right? This is the revolving door at the bottom of your team, people that are coming in and out all the time. It's all right. That's just how it works. It's just part of the process. You got to, look through this process in team building, and especially when Ashley does, interviewing skills. The idea is, how do you hire more people and bring them in here that have the ability to move here quickly? Like that's the mindset on building teams. But this was when people would always ask me, man, how do you do it? How do you take these people and how do you get them to perform? This was all I did. Was I identified these people, I leveraged them into a coaching environment that would allow. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this, okay? But this was my mentality. I didn't want to wait. I was busy too as a manager. I didn't want to waste my time. So, and this sounds cruel, I understand. But as we go, you'll understand how this whole culture is created. I didn't want to work with people that didn't want to be worked with. I wasn't wasting my time. And so people had to earn the right to work with me. Now that sounds very egotistical, but that's not what I'm talking about. I created a leveraged environment to where people had to earn the right, but the first thing I had to do was prove that it works, right? I don't know if I told you that story, but I took a guy when I first started, and I figured out this is what I need to do right here. I took a guy on my team, I sat him down, I said, look, do you want to be a rock star? Do you really want to go to the next level? I wanted to figure out where was he right here. What was his desire? And he's like eager. He's like, yes, what I got to do, I'll do whatever you say. Like, I wanted to make sure that they were coachable and teachable and all of that, right? And so I'm willing to put in the work, because it was going to take a lot of work to go from here to there. So I took one person. I took one guy on my team. I had about, close to 10 people on my team at that time. And I took one of them. And I spent about, probably 6 months maybe. Really, every day I worked with this guy, and I took him through the model I'm going to show you today. Every day we went through this model, this coaching model. And next thing you know, he was outperforming most of these people, right? And so now guess what? The other ones in here that had desire, what were they doing now? Hey, wait a minute. Will you work with me? Now I've got some leverage. So now what can I do? I go, I will work with you if you'll go from here to here. Once you get to here, I'll work with you. All I was doing was giving them an initiation fee, so to speak, right? They're like, go earn it. Show me that you really want it. And I still helped them do that, but I didn't work with them as closely as I did the people I was coaching. And so I took them, and they would come and they would prove themselves. I'd go, okay, great, come on in. Now let's really take it to the next level. And I would do that over and over and over. Some of them didn't make it. Most of them did. And so people would go, how do you get a team to go from here to here? How do you close that potential gap? This was it. The model I'm going to show you today, I identified these people, I took them through it. It's like this factory of employee development. Like that's all it is. And I would get people at the highest levels. Now, here's what would happen. Some of these 20% would do what after a while? They got promoted. So what do you think when that happens? Crap. I'd spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of energy coaching these people to perform. Because of their performance, they would get promoted. And when that first started happening to me, I'm like, dude, this is not worth it. Until I sat down with somebody and they, hit me upside the head and they go, that's your job. The more you can do that, the better you are, the more value you have to this company. I'm like, okay. Some of them would do what? Some of them would leave. For whatever reason, maybe a better opportunity that wasn't within our company. I didn't care, it's okay. I spent a lot of time, I put a lot of effort, a lot of energy to get them to perform, and they would leave. I even had some leave and go to my competitors. Guess what? They came back pretty fast, most of them. Okay? Some of them would go down. They would go back to the 70%. Not everybody can handle success. It's just the truth. It's okay. Again, this is just a cycle of bringing people from here to here and keep putting that funnel. And as well as here, same concept here. Look, these people, right, you know what I'm talking about. Most of you have some on your team right now. They're not going to make it. They're just not. It was either a bad hire, it was wrong position, whatever. They just don't get it. They're not going to make it. I've always believed this, and please don't go fire anybody today because I told you this. But I believe this is to be a kind of a universal truth in the business world today. We're too quick to hire and too slow to fire. If somebody's not going to make it, let them go. You know what I mean? Find somebody to replace them, but let them go. It's not doing you any good. It's not doing them any good. If they're just in the wrong spot. Like it's just a bad fit. Make that happen. But again, that's a myth that you should only work with your top producers, and that to me is why. Okay? Now, does that mean we forget them? No, not at all. We're still here. Here's the deal. They don't need you. Like I could coach these guys to get up in this 20%. Well, guess what? After a while, I didn't have to spend a lot of time with them. I just needed to support them, let them know I loved them, right? Appreciated them, all that. But I didn't have to physically help them all the time because I got them to that level. And so